Hi everyone. Um, I sorry guys, I don't know how to start this. Um, I want to preface this by saying again, I am not a YouTuber. I'm not like an influencer or I don't know, internet social media person in any way. Um, I just wanted to come on here and share my story. Um, Even if no one hears it, this is also just kind of for me to get what happened off my chest because I feel like conversion therapy is not often talked about enough and the experiences and what happens in conversion therapy. So I just wanted to give you my life story and hope that this helps someone in some kind of way, at least, because I know it would have helped me. And yeah, so before we get into the juicy stuff, I'm gonna give you a little information about me. Hi, I'm from Hazleton, Michigan, like a little little town. Um, I am a student at UCLA, and I am a gay man. And growing up, I knew I was different. I didn't know what being gay was until later, but I always knew something about me was off. I've always been more feminine. I've always been more, I don't know, I guess it's flamboyance. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've just been always like more feminine, different in that way. And so growing up, oh, sorry, there's something in my nose. Um, yeah, growing up, I never really fit in with like other guys in my grade. Like most of my friends have been girls or always were girls. And I've always just felt kind of othered in that way. And growing up, being gay with not a lot of support around you to like figure yourself out or having someone to lean on in that sense to help you like figure out your way is very isolating. And I didn't really know how else to cope with it. And so I started writing in a journal to kind of talk to myself. um, just kind of to have someone to talk to, even if it is literally just me. So I am going to show you guys my diary, my journal, that has all my experiences from growing up and conversion therapy. Um, this is just a little disclaimer. I haven't read this in a while, so this is gonna be a little difficult for me to get through. So if I'm like pausing or getting weird, that's why. I haven't read this in a really long time, for reasons you'll see later. But okay, let's start, guys. Um, March 4th, 2024. It's cold in Michigan. I don't like winter, but it seems to never end. I wonder if it's always warm in Florida. Okay. Yeah, I don't like the winter. I am not a winter person. That is, in fact, why I chose UCLA. I hate the cold. Um, it's actually colder than you would think here. Like, even though I'm got the Midwest blood, Midwest cold blood, I don't know, Midwest cold blood, it's a little cold. So, yeah, I wonder what he would think of that. Um, May, January, February, March, April. April 4th, 2024. Um, there's a new kid in my class. His name is Andrew. He's from California. I asked him if it's warm there. He said he likes it. I feel sorry that he has to live in Hazleton now. Okay, so now this is where it gets juicy. Okay, so I always had crushes. I never had a boyfriend. I never had a relationship. I never even had a girlfriend. I'd never been kissed before. I'd never gone on a date. I just cannot stress to you guys how little play I got. Like, there's not a lot of action. Just like growing up gay in general, but in like middle of nowhere, Michigan, it's even worse. So there was this new kid, and I had a big fat crush on him. I had a big fat crush on him, and I thought he was just so. I just thought he was so cool. I just thought he was so unique, and I thought it was very rare for us to get new people, like just people moving here in general. So to get someone from somewhere like California was just like very just piqued my interest. And then as time went on, I just got more obsessed with him because I got a big fat crush on him. So um, I think a lot about Andrew. It must be hard for him being here. He seems okay. I crossed out a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I read, and then I said he seems cute. It's weird. Why is that weird? Why is that weird? But yeah, I just had. Oh my god, look at her. Her little. Oh, wait. I don't know what this is. It's like a heart, but it's like an angel. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, I don't know how the camera works. Okay. Oh my god. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm such a grandma when it comes to technology. Okay. Um, LA, Los Angeles. Um, yeah, it's our initials, LA. Andrew said he didn't have a winter coat. Oh wait. Oh my god, this is cute. You're gonna like this. Okay. Andrew said he didn't have a winter coat, so I asked him if he wanted mine, but then he said I would be cold. I can't stop thinking about him. His hair looks like mine too, which is weird because there's not a lot of gingers here. He's so cute. And then I drew a little thing. Yeah, that was low-key embarrassing for me. That was low-key embarrassing because um I asked him because I noticed he didn't have like a coat on, so then I was just like finding any excuse to talk to him like at all. And so I was like, Andrew, do you want my winter coat? And he's like, but then you'll be cold. And I was fucking obsessed after this. I was like, oh my god, he didn't want me to be cold. Like, he's like, oh my god, he wants me so bad. I'm like, well, yes, he did, but there wasn't. It wasn't because of that. So yeah. Um, yeah, I'm just gushing about Andrew here. If you can't see how obsessed with him I am already. I'll just say, hey, Andrew gave me a flower, and then he asked me if I wanted to go to his house, and I got scared, but I said yes. I hope he doesn't think I'm weird. Um, I told my parents about him, but not in that way. They don't like gay people. I didn't see why. There's nothing wrong with me, right? Yeah, so I started going to see him more because I wanted to hang out with him, obviously. And my parents, to preface, very homophobic, very just like closed minded, conservative, very anti gay. So I would tell them about Andrew, but I would make him sound like a friend. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to my friend Andrew's house," and they were just like they didn't think anything of it because it's like, oh, like he just has a guy friend. Like wow, now he's finally hanging out with guys, and I'm like, yeah, I'm hanging out with guys. So yeah, um, oh, I had my little dear diary moment because I literally said dear diary. I literally said dear diary. No, okay, there's a story here, but um, we'll get to that later. Um, Andrew and I have been hanging out a lot. He's so sweet and funny. He loves old rock, and he even showed me his vinyl collection, which was really cool. I even got to sleep over and we cuddled together. It felt wonderful. Yeah, this was this was a very sweet era for us, for me personally, because it's just like that stage of like when you're like having a crush on someone and it's like they like you back, but it's like you don't want to say it, and it's just like you're doing all the cute stuff together. Um, oh, this is good stuff, guys. Okay, June 11th, we kissed. Um, and then it was so crazy. Went camping together at his family's place in Isle Royale. His family has like this cutest cabin in Isle Royale. It's like a like state park deal. It's really. And then we had a campfire and we looked at the stars together. We cuddled under a blanket and pointed out the constellations. Suddenly he just kissed me. It was so. What the fuck? It was so freaking rad. Okay. And now we're dating. Oh my god, I had to emphasize this in case I couldn't read that. Yeah. Um yeah, that was our anniversary, June 11th. Um yeah, and now this is when we start dating. Like the whole summer we had our little summer romance moment. Um yeah, it was yeah, I missed him a lot. And I thought about him a lot during conversion therapy. And I mean, well, I wasn't supposed to because I'm converting, but yeah, it was very hard to be separated from him after being with him the whole summer because he was just like that person for me that's like, because again, growing up gay, it's like I always felt judged for being who I am. I always felt judged for being myself. And I always, even though like I've always been very feminine, I've always like dressed a certain way, I had to hide that from my parents. And even at school, I'd have to tone it down. And I just always felt like I couldn't really show anyone the real me without being judged or like persecuted in any way. And it's just like such a breath of fresh air when he came in. And because not only did he accepted me for being fully myself, he loved me for who I was. And that was really like the first time that I felt loved by someone for being me. And I just loved the feeling of being loved by him because I didn't have to hide anything. And it was really nice to finally get that after seeing like, well, like you see all like your straight friends, all your straight peers like having all this like fun like teenage romance. And I always thought like, oh, I would never get to have that. And then I did. So yeah. um my senior year has been tough. Being out with Andrew has been great, but this town isn't exactly accepting. So after like 2 almost 3 months, we decided to, we didn't make like a public statement or anything, but it's just like people knew about us. And it was really great to not have to hide anything. But obviously kids are jerks. People aren't very accepting. But I mean, that didn't really matter to me because I finally was able to be with Andrew and not have to hide anything. Because we weren't exactly hiding before, but it's just like we never would like kiss in front of people, hold hands in front of people before that. Not in like a shameful way. It's just like obviously like you know how people are. So I've been working really hard on my college applications. I even applied to some in California. Andrew has an uncle in LA. I just really want to get out of Hazleton. Yeah, girl, don't blame you because, yeah, um, yeah, my parents want, okay, well, first they didn't even want me to go to college. They wanted me to stay at home and get a job at home. But I was like, absolutely not. So I applied to colleges behind their back, and I applied to UCLA, obviously, UCI. There's more, but I honestly forget. But yeah, I just really wanted to get out, and that was my escape. And okay, okay, guys. I'm sorry. This is where it gets to the deep the the bad stuff. So, um, September 12th, someone told my parents about Andrew and I. They sat me down and told me I can never see him again, and I'm being homeschooled for the rest of the year. So, pretty self explanatory. someone told my parents, even though we were hiding it from them. Probably wasn't the smartest idea now that I think about it to go out with each other in a small town, but they found out and they I remember they sat me down and yeah, like pretty much they told me I can never see him again and if they ever caught me with him again, they would kill us both. And that being gay is a sin and they would not accept that in their house. So, very loving parents, obviously. Um, October 5th, I miss Andrew so much. I cry almost all the time. It's hard for me to do anything else. My parents cut my hair and made me burn my clothes. So, by this time, they were homeschooling me. But I use homeschool loosely because it was more just keeping me home and locking me in my room. And I was not allowed to see anyone, especially Andrew. So I became very depressed during this time because I was being isolated. And my parents found like my clothes and stuff that they thought were too feminine. They made me burn. And my hair used to, well, it's back to normal now, but like it looked like this back then. And they thought that my hair was too long, so it was making me gay. So they cut it to make it less gay, and I was like, yeah. Then a couple of months went by, and nothing was getting better, or they weren't getting the results they wanted from me. So on December 1st, my parents sent me to conversion therapy. I said yes to get out of here. There's nothing wrong with who I am, right? So the thing with conversion therapy is that most people think that it's a thing where your parents kind of just like send you off and you don't have a choice. They're technically not allowed to send you without your consent. So it's like kind of like normal therapy. Um Obviously I did not want to go, but I figured that it would be a better chance for me to get out of their house and to escape being somewhere else rather than being in the house. So I said yes just because I thought I would never see Andrew again and I just wanted to get out. And so I get to get the conversion therapy and it's set up kind of like a boarding school, I would say, where it's like we all got our own houses. It was like an hour or so away. We all got our own kind of like apartment things. It was in like this big, like old, kind of like abandoned, like this big old house. And basically, we all had our own apartments, but we were not, again, not really allowed to see each other unless it was like a big, like, congregation moment or like anything like that. Or like if we were doing like a group session or something. We were allowed to see other men, but it was very limited because they didn't want you to see other men in case you would get gay feelings or feel attraction and that would set the therapy back. So what they would make you do is write down on a scale of 1 to 10 how much attraction you felt to a man that day, what you liked, what you feel about men, and they would also make you write a star on every day um, that you had either sexual or romantic feelings about a man. So there's a lot of stars here. They made me go through my journal to kind of unpack unpack my feelings for men and made me write stars on every day I felt attraction. So as you can see here, star, star. Um, yeah, and basically they would send you to counseling, and you would tell the counselor about your feelings, and the counselor would basically, he told me that obviously being gay is a sin, obviously, and um I'm sorry, this is very recent, so I'm trying to remember because I blocked most of this out. But he would make you talk about if you've had any romantic or sexual experiences with men. And so I told him about Andrew, and he he felt sorry for me, and he told me it was wrong, but God will forgive me. And he assigned me to pray once a day. Um, I forget what the name of the prayer was. It was, I actually don't even think it's like a real prayer. It was, I I honestly forget it because I did not want to remember it, but he made me pray in front of him to make the gay pray the gay away, and that would continue for every day I was there. I'd have to journal how I felt, and eventually they gave me a new one, but I did away with that one because I did not want to keep that. And so I would they also were supposed to get rid of this one technically, but I would read it to myself to think about Andrew and remember the good times we had. So I hid that from them and I would write in it myself. Um yeah, and I tried to gaslight myself into thinking I was getting better because at the end of the day, I just wanted it to stop. I just wanted to go back to normal. And being gay for all my life mostly has been this like crutch on me. That's like, even though today I'm very proud of who I am, it's not always been that way. I always wanted to be different so my parents would love me, so I would be accepted by my town. And I guess part of me also said yes to the therapy so I could make them proud. And so you can see here, I'm recovering well. I want to. And here's some more entries of days. I stopped giving them all pages, but days where I felt attraction to men. I mean, sometimes I would lie just to make them think better of me, but it doesn't it doesn't work. It's not conversion therapy is not like a almost everyone I talk to in that place, there it did not work on them. What they do is they try to scare you, they try to intimidate you, and they traumatize you to scare you from being out, and it really does nothing to even stop like who you are. And it's it's very anxiety inducing to constantly have someone watching over you and telling you that who you are is a sin, that you need to repent or you will be going to hell. I've been told countless times there I was going to hell. Um, I had friends there who got beaten. I remember there was a story where these two guys were found in someone's room kissing, and I remember there was an assembly where they brought us all outside in a circle, and they had the two guys in the middle of the circle, and they force them to repent, and we watch the counselors beat them in front of us, and they did that to kind of be a lesson as to this is what will happen to you if you're gay. If you think this is bad, then think about hell. Think about what God will think of you for committing this sin. All to scare us, basically. And for most people, it worked. It worked on me because it's very traumatic, and you just want to do everything you can to make sure that you're getting better and being honest so you can get out. But it's a scam, because once you're in there, you'll never leave unless you fake it hard enough that you got better, or there's like a period of time where you can be released if your parents release you, or if you're on good behavior or something like that. Um, yeah. There would be times where I tried to write in my journal. I would try to write letters, but it wouldn't work. And um, I remember one time they found my journal, and they found that I was writing in it, and I was terrified that something would happen to me. So I tried to write for them. I tried to write like stuff like this. Like, I thought about a man. I know it's wrong. I will repent. I'm sorry. And I had to basically just renounce myself. And then I had to write, I am not gay. Like that punishment in school where it's like this. I had to do this as my final punishment for breaking the rules, for writing without them knowing, and expressing homosexual behavior by writing about Andrew. And it got to the point where they, if you were on bad behavior, they wouldn't feed you, they wouldn't give you water, they would torment you, basically. And it got to the point where I was so scared and tired and anxious all the time that I really thought that I was going to die there. And I was feeling very depressed again. I missed Andrew every day, and it got to the point where I tried to attempt many times. And yeah, but then I met a friend named David, and we planned to escape together because we wanted to get out. And it was very difficult because there's security everywhere. There's very few people who escape, but it was possible. And we managed to sneak out one night, and we hitchhiked, basically. He actually lives not in Hazleton, but pretty close. So we hitchhiked out. I went home. Well, not like to my house, but like I remember going to Andrew's house, and we found each other, and that was the first time I'd seen him. And my parents had told everyone that I was dead. They told them that I died, and they told them I was in hell. I don't know how they would know I was in hell, but okay. And he thought I was dead. And I stayed in his house for a few days. His parents helped hide me, and we agreed that it wasn't safe for either of us to be in Hazleton, even though his family, God bless them, they're so amazing. They're so supportive and wonderful, but they wanted the best for both of us. And they took me in and saw me as basically one of their own. So I we pulled all our money together and we got a flight to LA where, remember, his uncle lives. And we started living with him for a while. And that's when our college decisions came back and we were both accepted to UCLA. And now that's where we are. This is my dorm, and so I'm actually filming here. My roommate is not here because I need to film in private because it's still very hard for me to talk about in front of people. So I'm talking to a camera instead. um, but Andrew and I are back together, um, and we've been living together. Not together, but like back together in the same place basically. And we've been living with his uncle. So I guess we are living together, but whatever, that doesn't matter. The point is, we escaped and we are finally free to be with each other and not have to hide anymore. So my message to anyone who is any parents who's considering conversion therapy for their kids, or people who think they need it because they're like there's something's wrong with them, you're nothing is wrong with you. And in fact, it's the opposite. Everyone who thinks something is wrong with you has something deeply wrong inside of them that makes them believe that your existence is wrong or that your existence is a sin, because you are not a sin. And no matter how hard someone tries to change you, you will always be who you are at the end of the day, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I never thought I would ever escape like Hazleton. I never thought I would get out of my house. I never thought I would find someone who loves me so much to help me run away from home. I never thought I would be at UCLA. I never thought I would be anywhere. And I'm so incredibly grateful every day that I get to live this life now, that I get to be myself and have friends who love me, have a boyfriend who loves me, have a new family that loves me. His family is actually moving back here, so. But yeah, I just really hope that this message, even though I babbled a lot, even though I went off track a lot, I hope that someone who sees this knows that it's okay and that you are not alone. And even if this only reaches like one person, I'm really not expecting this to reach a lot of people, but I just am so grateful to be here and that it does get better. Even if you think it never will and you'll never escape and it's impossible, there will always be a way to better yourself and find a new path for yourself. And you are never alone. I am I'm here. I mean, I don't know how that would work, but I am here if anyone needs to talk. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to say, but I'm very grateful to have escaped, and conversion therapy needs to be outlawed for good. Um, I am actually a poli-sci major now, and I am hoping to one day um, make an end to conversion therapy. And I want to outlaw it for good because no one should have to experience what I went through. And I just want this to help someone. And I want to help everyone who has been through the situation or even just thinks that who they are is wrong, because it's not wrong. So, yeah. Um, with that being said, I'm gonna go hang out with my totally cute boyfriend now. Even though I went through all the conversion therapy, I still have my boyfriend, so I'm gonna go see him now. But yes, I don't know what to say. But thank you for listening. Bye.